Hi guys, hope you all are doing good. So in the previous video we have learned how to create a linked list. So in this today's lecture we are going to learn how to print all elements of a linked list. So this process is actually called traversal. So traversal is one of the most important operations in linked list. So without any delay let's understand it step by step. So let's begin. Suppose we have the following linked list. Suppose we have linked list about 10, 20, 30 and null. So imagine you want to see every value stored inside the linked list. So how can we do that? So we start from the first node. So we are going to start from the first node. So this is our first node. So on the next move, then we are going to move the second node. So this is our second node. So then we are going to move to the third node, and then we are going to stop when we reach the null value. So we are going to stop here when we got null value. So this process is actually called traversal. So think about a train. So in linked list, many examples comes under train only because it will be very easy to understand. So take example of train. Suppose let me draw train. So this is compartment one. So this is a compartment two. This is a compartment three, and this is a last compartment. So let us draw fifth compartment also. So first compartment will be our engine. So that means our head. So if you want to check every compartment, you start from the first compartment. So this is our engine. So this is our engine. So our first compartment will be this. So this engine we can take written as head, and these are our compartments. So we are going to check the first compartment and then we go to the next compartment. Then the next and next one, and so on until we move until there is no compartments. So traversal works exactly the same way. Now let us understand the logic. So we already have a head pointer. So we already have a head. So head pointer. So we already have head pointer. So that we are going to move. Head points to the first node. So in the linked list, head always points to the first node. So we can write a head to 10, 20, 30, and the null value. So why should we not move head directly? So why should not move head directly? So it because head stores the address of the first node. So if we change it, we may lose the linked list. So we are not going to change the head value. So we create a temporary pointer. Example, let me write. So in this code, we are moving, now the temp points to the first node. So in the diagrammatic representation, it looks like the first it gonna be head, and then later it gonna gives the values inside the linked list until the linked list is traversal until we get null value. So now let us see this linked list with a loop. So we are going to use while loop for this traversal. So let me write the while loop. So this is the snip. This is the code for our printing the all elements in the linked list. So let us understand every line. So the first condition. So the condition actually, so the loop continues as long as the node exists. When the temp is not equal to null, it gonna prints this value. So this while loop continues until this statement is true. Once it become false, it gonna I mean so like that stop when the null is reached. So this is how the while loop is created. So let us move to the second line. So we are going to see the printf percentage d temp to the next temp data. So this prints the data inside the current node. So the third line is so temp equal to temp of next. So moves the temp to the next node. So this is the most important line. Without this line, we can't traversal the linked list. So traversal cannot be happen. So now let us see the dry run. So the linked list is gonna start from 10, 20, 30, and the null. So initially temporary points to the value 10, And in the first iteration it gonna print the 10 on the, and it moves to the next node. So now temp moves to the 20, so it gonna print 20. And later on temp moves to the 30 and it gonna print 30. And later on it moves to the, so this is first iteration, this is second iteration, this is the third iteration. On the fourth iteration it gonna gives the null value, so it gonna print the null. So it gonna, I mean the condition become false and the while loop will be terminate, I mean while loop will be stopped. So now the output will be, so 10, 20 and 30, it gonna not print the null value. So now traversal is successfully completed. So this is all about the, I mean, traversal of a linked list. Let me write the complete C code for our traversal in a linked list. Let me write the C code. So I have written the C code for traversal of the linked list. So the output of this linked list will be, it will be, let me write the output. So the output will be 10, 20 and 30. So let me explain this C code line by line. So first we have declared a hashtag include std This uses to access the functions like printf and scanf. So in this we have used only printf function. So hashtag include is used to allocate for dynamic memory allocation. This header file is important to allocate dynamic memory allocation. So we have declared the structure node. So with the data types of int data and struct node of the star next. So in the int main function, we are declared nodes. That means we are declared struct node star head, star second, and star third. So for head and second and third, we are allocated malloc using dynamic. So we have allocated the dynamic memory allocation for head, second, and the third. So we use malloc function here. So we have given the head data equal to 10, head next equal to second. So second data equal to 20, second next equal to third, and third data equal to 30, and third next equal to null. So we are declare struct node start temp, so temp equal to head. So we, while until temp is not equal to null, we are going to print the, I mean we are going to print the node value inside the linked list until it gets temp is not equal to null. So finally we are writing the 0. So this is our output. So let me ask you some questions. So in this C pointer, why we use a temporary pointer? So the answer is to protect the head pointer. If head moves, we may lose access to the linked list. So that is why we use header pointer. So next question is, when does traverser actually stop? So the traverser stops when temp becomes null. So how many times does the loop will be run? It runs once for every node. So it will runs for every one node. So let us revise quickly. So traversal means visiting the every nodes. Let us move to the previous page. So traversal is nothing but moving to the, I mean visiting to the every node while using a temporary pointer. Start from the head value. So we are going to start from the head value and we are going to print the data, moves to the next node until we get a null value. So this is all about the traversal of a linked list. So we have learned how to traverse a linked list and print all elements. So this operation is the foundation for searching, insertion, deletion, and many advanced linked list problems. So in the next video, we will learn insertion at the beginning of a linked list, step by step with easy examples and complete code. So thanks for watching. I hope this lecture is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. So like the video, share with your friends and subscribe to our channel. And see you guys in next lecture. Thank you everyone.